Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. When Jurgen Klopp announced his retirement from Liverpool back in January, not many people would have predicted that he'd end up with just the Carabao Cup. So many Airbnbs been cancelled from Dublin in May for the Europa League, and now, well, the victory parade for a farewell title appears to have been cancelled as well. They are only a point ahead of Manchester City, who've got 2 games in hand. They're 3 points behind Arsenal with 4 games to go. It's another trophy gone for Liverpool. And against Everton, their biggest rivals at Goodison Park. Well, they're City rivals anyway. Look, it's a very similar story to the Crystal Palace game, which is probably where the bubble burst, really. They had so many chances against Crystal Palace. They didn't score them. And tonight, they had chances and they didn't score again. And I think that will be the legacy of this final season for Jurgen Klopp, what could have been, because they've had the chances. And Everton have raised their game and got the points that will surely keep them in the Premier League themselves. I don't think that was ever in any doubt either. But Everton are always going to raise it. It's a derby. It's at Goodison Park. It's an amazing atmosphere. It's an amazing city. And Everton are always going to give absolutely everything, especially when they know they can be the team that destroys Liverpool's title hopes. And that's what they've done. I mean, of course, mathematically, it still is possible. But where's it all gone wrong for Liverpool? Get in the comments. Let me know. Why is it this team that 3 or 4 games ago seemed to have the better run in? And let's not forget, this is a team that's been victim of some horrific refereeing decisions. You can still, as a Liverpool fan, say, hold on a minute. Spurs away. Goal not given. We could have got at least a point there. Man City at Anfield, last kick of the game, clearly a penalty. That shifts things in our favour by 3 points. So there are those things, and those extra 3 points for Liverpool still have them top. So Liverpool should not lose track of that, and no team that's been victim of the appalling officiating this season should drop that and focus on their own misgivings when they are massive, massive problems with the integrity of this league. But you've also got to look at Crystal Palace at home and Everton away, 0 points, when they've had so many chances, will ultimately be why Jurgen Klopp doesn't get this farewell title, which, look, as well, context. You look at Liverpool a year ago, you're never putting him in the title race this year. What he's done with that midfield, how he's made them competitive. Look, as a Man United fan, I'm always going to rejoice in the fact that Liverpool don't win the title. Their next title will level up with us with 20 times. But as somebody who's a fan of football, Jurgen Klopp, there is a pang of sympathy and sorrow when you see Jurgen Klopp having to walk away from Liverpool with what wasn't what he deserves in some sense. He's rebuilt that football club from the ground up. But I've always felt with Klopp as well that he was going too soon, and he's got to go for his own reasons, whether it's health and stress. He's got to follow that advice. But this team for me was always next season's team. Like, you look at Arsenal and the evolution of what Arteta's built, Klopp was always going to have to rebuild this team, and they will be a better team next year for what they've learned this year if Klopp stays, but he's not. And that was always going to be the Liverpool thing. Could they get over the line slightly ahead of schedule? And obviously that's not going to happen now. So there'll be a lot of sadness for Liverpool and Klopp and Liverpool fans, because it's not what he deserves for what he's done for that football club. But football doesn't always serve up what you deserve. And Arsenal and Man City are 2 teams that, well, Man City 6 out of 7 probably, to be honest with you. And Arsenal are a team that have learnt a lot from last year as well. Liverpool haven't learnt from the Crystal Palace game, and they would have come into this game and they should win. They should beat Everton on form, on players, on ability. But you go to Goodison Park, you play Everton, they're up for it, they're motivated, they've got their own reasons to win, they want to beat Liverpool as well, and they played the perfect game today. And look, you look at someone like Calvert-Lewin, he probably has 1 or 2 good games a season, and when he does, he's very hard to deal with, and he had a very good game today. Could have had a penalty, marginally offside, could have been a penalty. So Everton are worthy winners, don't take anything away from them, and they are the quintessential end of season banana skin that derails title races, and that is exactly what has happened here. And I think for Liverpool, they're in this uncertain position now, and as are Everton to a certain extent. Do they want another season next year fighting a a relegation that's probably not going to come, but seems to always be grabbing them by the soles of their feet, I suppose. Everton need to become better than what they are as well. They can't just have another season where they're close to relegation. But for Liverpool, it's not even that it's a compounding disappointment for Liverpool is what I'm trying to say. And I'd love to see what people think in the comments, especially Liverpool fans. How does this leave you feeling? Because as a Man United fan, our greatest manager in Premier League football, and well, ever, but Premier League football, was Sir Alex Ferguson. And we got to watch him walk out with a Garden of Honour and a Premier League title. And he went. Jurgen Klopp is without question Liverpool's best ever Premier League manager. And he's going to walk away with, third place and a Carabao Cup, which was not what was promised, was it? And I'm surprised. I mean, I never would have said that they were going to win the Europa League and the Premier League, but I certainly thought they'd go closer to winning it. I didn't think we'd be sat here in April saying neither are possible, and it's this, flat final goodbye over the next few weeks, isn't it, for Liverpool? And it's massively disappointing for them. But as I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but I look at that Liverpool team and there's so much to be excited about in relation to the age profile, and there will be better players next season. They will be. The McAllisters, the Gravenbergs, the Nunez's, the Diaz, the Bradleys, they're all going to be better players next season. Of course they are, but what will be there next season? Who will the manager be? What mentality will he have? What camaraderie will he bring? How will he be with the media? How will the players react to him? What players are going to stay and what players are going to go? These are all big things that, as a Liverpool fan, when you're dealing with this disappointment this year, you just want to be dealing with that disappointment and we go again next year. But they're dealing with the disappointment and also what the fuck's going to happen next year. If you think about Arsenal last year with Arteta, massively disappointment, but it was like, right, let's bring Declan Rice in. We've got Arteta, we've got what we got, and we try again next year. Whereas for Liverpool, it's like this big, massive uncertainty and also that pang of regret and guilt that they haven't delivered what Jurgen Klopp would have wanted. And he's on the screen there. I can't hear what he's saying, but he doesn't look the man he did a few years ago as well. I think he does need to go. And look, I've heard a lot of rumours about, people don't think he's well and stuff like that. And I really hope that that's not the case. I just hope it's just he needs a bit of a break because there can be a pressure. I mean, I saw this with United when Sir Alex Ferguson announced his retirement 10 years before he did, and the results just fell off. And I don't know why that is, because he would have been in the same position where the players owe him, the club owe him, and you'd think that they'd stand up. But I think sometimes it's difficult. I think sometimes that can be a pressure. And I don't know whether anybody's really aware that Sir Alex Ferguson was going to retire 10 years before he did, and then he announced he wasn't retiring because the results were going shit. They went really, really shit. So it can be a pressure. It can be an inspiration, but it can be a pressure as well. But yeah, look, I can't say I'm surprised Everton won because it's always going to be a difficult game. But that's it for Liverpool, isn't it? Unless I'm missing something, I think that's it. I don't see Arsenal and Man City dropping the points required for Liverpool to get back in this title race. And therefore, that's it. Title race over. Get your comments in below. Smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you on the next one.